is Long Way to the Top, and I'm your host, Shane Bryan. If you are a fan of Steely Dan, Doobie Brothers, Toto, Christopher Cross, then you are more than likely a fan of Yacht Rock. Yes, Yacht Rock is a thing, and the pioneers of Yacht Rock are Yächtley Crëw. They are coming to Australia, and I've got the lead singer of Yächtley Crëw, Philly Ocean. Philly, how are you?
Howdy. Yeah, I'm great, man. Thank you so much for having me on. How are you today?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. You're doing your maiden voyage, I guess, to Australia, you could say.
That's right. We will be there in May, and we are going to be playing 5 shows. Now, 4 of those are announced. One of them has yet to come, but we're going to be playing everywhere in Australia, and it's going to be an amazing tour. We're so excited to bring Yacht Rock to Australia for the first time, and it's just we couldn't be more excited about it.
Now, you said everywhere, and there's a 5th concert. I'm hoping that maybe it's Tasmania.
It's not Tasmania.
Oh,
Darn it.
No.
I'm gonna call our agent after we get off the phone and say, you need to get us over to Tasmania while we're down that way.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, we're massive fans of Yacht Rock, and Yacht Rock's become a really big thing, hasn't it? I guess partly due to the documentary, but before that, there was a comedy series that I guess coined the whole Yacht Rock genre.
That's right. Yeah, there's a web series that came out, I think it was in 2008, if memory serves, and it was dubbed Yacht Rock, and the guys in that web series literally defined what has now become Yacht Rock, the music genre. And they have a whole, a logic to how they decided what is and what is not. And it's pretty compelling and very entertaining. So, there's this new documentary that just came out on Max that's all about Yacht Rock, and they actually came to a show of ours in 2023. They filmed a huge concert that we did in Orange County, California, and so we were honored to be included in that, right alongside Christopher Cross and Michael McDonald and all the guys from Toto and Ambrosia. I mean, you name it. It was just packed with the absolute gods of this genre, and we were honored to be in it.
Now, before we get into, I guess, the who's who in the genre, what do you think it is that is the appeal for Yacht Rock?
I think we all, maybe even more than ever, we need something that makes us feel good and something that we can come together over that is not divisive and not stressful and not negative. And these songs are so good, and they just fill us with the best memories of our lives. I mean, I can tell you, everybody in the band, we've been listening to this music our entire life, and we all have a deep affinity for it. And I just think that's what it is. We need an escape from the negativity, but we also we want to feel connected, and we want to feel joyful together. And I think that's what Yacht Rock does for people. It brings them together. Everybody's smiling and singing along. We all know the words, and it's just a great time.
Mm-hmm. And of course, you play a lot of the greats in your concert, and you would have everybody singing along and loving it.
That's right. I mean, that's part of it is, we've been called the Kiss of soft rock because our fans come dressed like us. They wear their captain's hats and their navy blazers. They dress up like, sailors and whatever. They want to take part in the spectacle of our show. And that just makes it way more fun too. It makes people feel like they're a part of something that's bigger. And I think that's a really, really great thing.
Now, there's firstly, who do you think would be the pioneer of Yacht Rock? Who's the number one band? Where did it all start?
I think it all began with Michael McDonald and Christopher Cross, but it's really the core. Would be Ambrosia, Toto, Michael McDonald, Christopher Cross, Steely Dan, Kenny Loggins. Those are like the big wigs of the Yacht Rock genre. And of course, I'm leaving out so many because, I think we cover something like 50 different artists. We have over 100 songs in our repertoire, 115, 120 songs or something like that. So, it's a big book of music, so to say, and but those are kind of the Mount Everest, not Mount Everest. What is the mountain I'm thinking of? You can edit this out.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Mount Rushmore. The Mount
The Mount
Rushmore of
Rushmore.
yacht rock are those artists.
I guess is there any sort of bands that are on the fringe that may or may not be? I did hear a story that possibly Michael Jackson was.
Well, the thing about yacht rock is that some songs by an artist might be considered yacht rock and some other ones might not. So Human Nature is considered yacht rock.
Right.
And a lot of it has to do with who was producing it, who were the musicians that played on it, who wrote it. And if memory serves, I think Human Nature was actually written by one of the guys in Toto, or he wrote
Toto,
part of
yeah.
that song. So, that's where it kind of, you'll hear certain songs and like, oh, that's yacht rock. That absolutely lines up with this genre of music.
Yeah.
And like I said, there's a whole logic that the guys who created the genre apply to it. But, it just boils down to, I think, a vibe and a feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. I love it. The vibe. I love it. I love it. Now, is there just I guess starting the whole band, and you said, you know what, we love this whole genre. We're going to call ourselves Yächtley Crëw. Who came up with all of your names? I have to just say, unless they are your actual birth names, in which case,
No.
I'm so sorry.
No. They are our aliases, for the sake of the band. But we all did. Basically that was a task. We got together and we had a concept for the band. Our bass player and our drummer had come together with the idea to like, let's do this soft rock from the late 70s, early 80s. And when they first got the idea, they didn't even know it was called yacht rock. And then they quickly discovered and like, oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
so
cool.
Let's develop a look and let's develop, something that is an identifiable brand. And so then it's like, well, what would we call ourselves? And, we were all in the room throwing around ideas. And I think it was our drummer that came up with the name Yächtley Crëw. And he was like, what do you guys think about that? And of course we heard that and we're like, well,
So
that's
good.
perfect. Right.
Good.
And then it was like, well, we should have like some aliases. We should each have our own stage name, and then it was like, well, we each went home with our homework and made a list of things, and we'd come back and we'd all talk about it. Oh yeah, this would be awesome if, so-and-so. And it was kind of just in good fun, right? It was just like, oh man, how do we just keep elevating this? And I'll tell you, for a lot of your listeners, you've never seen this before because we haven't been in Australia, but we are absolutely committed to always elevating. We're always looking for new ways to innovate our show, to make it more engaging and more fun for our crowds, and to bring everybody into the fold. We even call our fans croupies. And, people love it. We have T-shirts that say Croupy on it, so that the people can like really elevate how they engage with us and that they know they're a part of the fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And you even look at the title of your albums. Your Christmas EP was called Season Greetings.
Right.
That's
right.
That's clever.
Exactly.
That's clever. So you've got yourself, you've got Sailor Hawkins, who's on drums.
Our drummer. Yep.
Your guitarist?
That's Tommy Bowie is
Tommy
on guitar.
Bowie.
Our bass player is Baba Bowie. We have our sax player, Mr. Pauly Shores. We have one of our keyboardists, Stony Shores. We have our other keyboardist and guitarist, backup vocal. He's an incredibly talented musician, Matthew McDonald. I'm Philly Ocean, and that makes up our whole band. There's 7 of us in the band, 7 surly sailors, and we just have the best time doing this. It's so much fun.
Now, are you aware that less than maybe 2 weeks prior to you traveling around, that 2 of your biggest yacht rockers are actually heading to Australia?
I did hear that. Yep. And actually, I've been doing a lot of press leading up to this tour that we're doing in Australia, and everyone has been pointing that out to me. And I think they heard that Yächtley Crëw was coming, and they were like, "Well, we better get over there before."
It's like Toto and Christopher Cross, two of the biggest ones. But I would love to see maybe, I don't know, them on stage with you guys. How cool would that be?
That is literally a dream of ours, is to get to play with some of these artists, and we're hoping that happens. You know, the more and more that we get out there and the bigger our fan base becomes, we know that they know about us. Steve Lukather's son and daughter, they're both huge fans of Yächtley Crëw. They've been to our shows, and so they're definitely talking about us, and they're definitely aware of what we're doing.
Well, I think as Steve said in the documentary, he's still waiting for his yacht. He doesn't know where it is.
Yeah,
Uh, so
he's a
um,
bit closer than we are to having a yacht, I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure he's got a yacht. Look, you wouldn't be that famous and not have a yacht of some description, right?
Right, exactly.
Now, what just from a personal perspective, what is your favorite yacht rock song?
My personal favorite would be Heart to Heart by Kenny Loggins, because it's such a fun song to sing. It's got so much vocal diversity in there from the verses, which he kind of sings in like this very almost whispery melodic tone. And then in the choruses, he can just belt and it goes really, really high. So I love that song. It's also got a great groove.
Yeah,
Um, but that's one of the things that's great about the genre, is that the songwriting is so phenomenal, that
yeah,
there are so many songs that we do that are just amazing. I mean, we've been doing it for 8 years and I'm not bored. You know what I mean?
yeah.
They're fantastic to sing.
We kind of forget too with Kenny Loggins. We hear so much of Footloose and Danger Zone that we forget that he was such a soft rocker before that.
He was, and go back and listen to even his earlier stuff with Loggins and Messina. I
Mm.
mean, the songwriting was fantastic, and he was almost doing like this like country folk thing, and then he veered more when he started doing the soft rock stuff. He was looking, and he'll tell you this himself in some of the interviews. He was looking at black musicians in the United States, R&B and soul, and trying to integrate some of the stylistic choices that he heard from these musicians into his own music. And I think that's the hallmark of any great artist, is that they're always curious and they're always looking to incorporate, the great things that other artists they look up to are doing.
Yeah, yeah. Now, just in terms of the future of yacht rock, because a lot of it is in the past, are there
Yeah.
any yacht rock bands that we should be keeping an eye out for? Some up and coming?
You mean other than Yächtley Crëw? Just Yächtley Crëw. Yeah.
Just Yachtley Crëw.
Just pay attention to us. Yeah. We have a lot. We have a lot of life left in us, and we've been doing this 8 years, but it feels like we're just getting started. We have
Yeah.
a full length feature album that's coming out this year called "Seize the Night." We have an
Love it.
EP that's out that people can listen to called "Seize the Day." And that has an original song. We're going to be releasing another original song on the Seize the Night album this year. And,
Yeah.
we have every intention of just doing this for as long as we can, and playing to as many people as we can. And it's a gift and an honor to get to do it. And we just want to keep giving back to our fans as much as possible. During the pandemic, obviously we couldn't play out live as much as we, were used to. We were doing like these drive-in concerts. So we kind of dedicated ourselves to creating stuff. And we would do music videos. We did a lot of live stream concerts, especially very early on in the pandemic, give
Yeah.
something to people so that they knew, A, we weren't going anywhere. And B, we all needed that. It was a scary time, right? And one of
Yeah.
the things that we did was we wrote this song, Sex on the Beach, which is our first original. And I'm really proud of this song because it's really fun. It's a love song. It's about, basically it's a story about this guy and this gal who get drunk one night at a bar and fall in love. And of course, the drink that they order that makes them fall in love is Sex on the Beach. And
Yeah.
that's the name of the song. So we had so much writing that. We made a music video of that. That's really fun. People can check out on YouTube. And a good friend of ours who's been a long supporter of the band, Mario Lopez, is in that music video also. So it was just good, good old fat fun. Writing
Kind of
a
like it.
song that it makes you smile, and yeah,
It's kind of like an updated version of the Pina Colada song, really, isn't it?
in a way, yeah. I mean, I would say we look to a lot of the songs that we play as inspiration, and that one
Yeah.
was one of them for sure.
Yeah. No, fantastic. Well, look, we're looking forward to you heading down under Friday, the 16th of May in Melbourne at the Northcote Theatre. Jump on a plane,
That's
go and
right.
see them, make a weekend of it, that's for sure. Or if you want to head to Sydney, 17th of May at the Metro in Sydney. Tickets are available right now from totaltouring.co.au. And Philly, I really hope you enjoy your visit to Australia. This is your second time, but the band's first time.
That's right. It's our first time coming there, and it's going to be awesome.
Fantastic. Philly, thanks for joining us on the show.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, and we'll see you in May.
See you then. Hit plus or follow to subscribe to the podcast, and head over to Facebook at The Long Way to the Top podcast and give us a like. Keep on rocking, and I'll catch you on the next episode of Long Way to the Top.